Alright, welcome. If you're new to the channel, my name's Elliot and you're watching Rickety Ski Reviews. Today we're going to be answering some of your burning, dying questions and just jumping right into seeing what you guys want to know. Obviously it's summer, there's no way to review skis right now, so I think this is a good opportunity to answer what you want to know. All the stuff you guys asked me during the winter that I'm not really able to answer, now's my time to give back to you. Especially for people who are looking to buy skis. Now is like the best time to buy skis. They are the most affordable. Typically not a lot of people buy skis right now, so a lot of manufacturers have promotions for anywhere from buy one get one to steeply just discounted rates. So we'll jump right in and help answer any of the questions you might have right now so you can make educated purchases, or anything you just want to know in general. Our first question comes from one of our members, Hunter. Hunter says, first season skiing, the first off season, how do you feel about getting a storage off-season wax? Necessary? Just storing in my garage, but wildly variable temps and dryness are an issue. Okay, that's a great question, Hunter. First off, you don't have to be too particular. There is a storage wax that you can prioritize, but I would just say any wax over your skis. Give them a good brush, wipe them down, and then put a large amount of wax. The important thing is just don't scrape or brush. Leave that wax. What that wax is basically doing is protecting your bases from drying out over the summer. It's also protecting your edges from any kind of rust. Secondly, store your skis inside if you're able to. Store them in a closet, store them next to your bed, store them wherever you can. Even the garage is better than the shed. I store a couple of my old rock skis in the shed just because I don't have enough room. But honestly, if I were you, I would try to avoid storing your stuff in the shed just because the temperature goes, at least where I am, from really high to really low, and those big temperature differences can cause condensation. It isn't really great for the bases. So if you can, store them inside. At least that's what I do. But as far as storing them, make sure you turn the dins down on the bindings and give them a nice healthy coat of wax to keep everything safe over the summer. But great question. And thanks for being a member. Which reminds me, if you like this kind of content and you want to support the channel, we have memberships down below where you will get to see content early. You will also get direct line to me to ask questions like this one. I will help you with ski purchases, things like that. So please feel free to become a member. I think our highest tier even, I will look at video of you skiing and give you my recommendations. So it's a great way to support the channel. Please consider. As always, liking and subscribing helps a channel that's small like mine. So anything you guys can do, I really appreciate. All right, the next email comes from James Stevens. James says, Elliot, my wife and I enjoy your reviews. Oh, that's funny. I've actually met a few fans in person, and they are always very excited, very nice, friendly people. I took a picture with one guy, and he had his wife take the picture, and she clearly had no idea who I was. Most people who watch this stuff, it's just them, it's not their significant other. So nice to see someone else's significant other was able to withstand watching my videos. Anyway, he says, my wife and I enjoy your reviews. I would appreciate your opinion about a ski. I'm 62 and an intermediate skier, 6'2", 250 pounds, similar build to me, plus fairly athletic for an old man. Looking at Salomon QST ski for occasional powder in northern New Mexico. Do you think a 98 or 106 would be a better choice for my ski level? I'm thinking 106 because of my size, but I've never skied a powder ski. Also, my primary carving skis are Nordica Steadfast 85 DC. Have you had a chance to see those yet? Interested in your opinion. I have enjoyed so far in 179 centimeter length. Thanks for your fresh approach to reviews. Okay, James, I'll try to answer your question. I've not skied in New Mexico, so take that with a grain of salt. I don't totally understand the climate or the skiing. And no, I have not skied the Nordica Steadfast. They don't carry them at my local demo shop, and ever since I was critical of Nordica Enforcer 100 from 2024, the ski that they kept putting top sheets on for 10 years. Yes, I was critical of it. I was one of the only people that honestly was really critical about it. Ever since I was critical about it, Nordica does not answer my emails. They pretend like I'm a ghost, like I don't exist. So I've been trying to haunt them to get skis. Maybe this is one they'll let me try in the future, but Nordica has pretty much been a no-go ever since I criticized their Enforcer 100. Okay, what ski should you get? 179 is fine for a daily driver. I would get a 182 or a 184 for the powder ski, just because you want to take advantage of the extra width. I don't know New Mexico's climate, how much snow you get, but if you get more than 6 to 9 inches in a single storm, I would get the QST 106. I think in general, I'm a little bit bigger fan of, if you're getting a designated powder ski, get something that does the job. If you're looking for it to replace your Steadfast, then you're kind of looking at the QST 98. Like, okay, this is going to be a do-it-all ski. Like, it's not going to do powder that well, but it'll do okay, and it's going to kind of carve, but not as well as the QST 92. It's kind of like any day you could throw it in your car and it would work. The problem with that is I don't know how much snow you get. So if you only get, like, if a powder day is only 4 to 5 inches, you know, do the QST 98. That's going to handle everything anyway. But if you get like big storms, or you're traveling somewhere else that gets more snow, like I said, I just don't know the climate. But I would, if you're getting real powder days over 6 to 9 inches, get the QST 106. Stick with your Nordica as a daily driver. You're only going to use the QST 106 10 or so days out of the year, but when you use it, it'll be perfect. And it'll last you longer because it's not getting as much mileage. I'm a big fan of like getting a ski to do a specific job that will do it well. And the QST 106 is one of my favorite powder skis. That's the ski I personally own. I'm a similar build and I love it a lot. For you, I would recommend a 182 or 184, whatever, somewhere in that range. Anyway, thanks James for watching, you and your wife, and I hope that you found that helpful. Okay, next is a comment from Jeff with Ski Essentials. This is a long one, so buckle up. I'm gonna attempt to go through this. Yeah, this was on Do Ski Reviews Suck Now? Donut Media Crumbles. But basically I was saying that, you know, a lot of ski reviews aren't all that helpful. I said other than Ski Essentials, which is the gold standard, and I tried to clarify that, and I kind of went on a Ski Essentials rant, so I can see why this comment came up. But I was saying that a lot of reviews aren't that helpful because a lot of them are, you know, sponsored athletes where they only will review, like Deb Armstrong did one where she only reviewed Fischer skis. I saw the other guy who only did Black Crow skis. And while both those companies make good skis, inside of like an isolated chamber, those ski reviews aren't very helpful to consumers. Similar to Curated, where you have a bunch of intermediate skiers that don't really know what they're looking for and aren't finding the nuance of the ski, is not very helpful. So I was just critical of that like a lot of the brands out there are just selling stuff, or they don't provide enough background information to be super helpful. But at the same time, you know, I was like, okay, Ski Essentials has some stuff where like clearly they're being biased by being flown out to Utah, or, you know, that because they sell the skis, they can't be overly negative. They tend to be more of like a ski showcase rather than what I consider a review. Like, okay, what do I consider myself if I'm doing a review? I'm a ski critic. What is part of being a critic? Being critical, which means I'm critical of like the ski and its shortcomings, but also its strengths. And I think what Ski Essential does is like way above and beyond what anybody else does out there as far as like ski showcasing and showing where a ski fits in a bigger picture. And I don't think they've ever been dishonest in their ski reviews, but the big element that they're missing is the criticism. They're not very critical of skis when they're talking about negatives. Now they might say like very light criticism, like, oh, this isn't the best in the woods, or it's not the best at this. But there are skis out there, not a lot of them, not the big staples, but there are a handful of skis out there where you go, this ski is not very good at its job, this ski does not carve well, this ski has wood that's too noodly, and that's always been kind of my big criticism of Ski Essentials. But as far as like in-depth analysis and understanding build of skis, I think they are absolutely the gold standard of ski reviews. And honestly, you know what? The internet is big enough for the both of us. We can all exist there. So, but anyway, let's read his comment and then I'll kind of respond. I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. So they say, hey Elliot, first thanks. I'm assuming that's being called the gold standard, and you're welcome. Second, believe it or not, we are always honest. We like to always point out the benefits and highlights of a ski, but also like to point out what they don't do particularly well. That came up recently on the M7 Mantra review. Is it a good mogul ski? Not really. Can it do it? Sure. And that's basically the conversation we have. Will some skiers be able to do it? Of course. Does that make it objectively good at the application? No, or at least not necessarily. It's all about pairing the right skis to the right skier, and part of that is describing certain limitations or certain challenges a particular ski might have. I did watch that review, and I think that's sugarcoating a little bit. in the Volko M7 Mantra review that they did, they were saying, oh, Bob can ski in the moguls, but the average person can't. And I guess that is kind of critical of the ski, but again, because of those relationships, because they're selling the ski, it always just feels like they have the kid gloves up a little bit with the criticisms. A good example would be the Liberty Evolve 84. I watched a review of it. I skied on the ski. It was one of the skis I liked the least last year, and I just didn't feel like you guys were that critical of it. It's been a while since I watched it or skied on those skis, but there are a handful of skis that I like straight up wouldn't recommend people buy, or that there are very few people that would really want that kind of ski where it sits in a weird place. So I don't know. I mean, for the most part, I do think you guys are really accurate. I don't think you've ever like told a lie in order to sell skis, but I do feel like sometimes you guys are a little bit soft on the skis, and that's fine. I don't know. I used to be very like, oh, this ski reviewed this and this, and now I'm kind of like, okay, the internet is big enough for all of us. Okay, we can all make our own type of ski content. And wow, just like that, look, it's daytime, miraculously. What happened? Well, I had to step away to help my kids with something, and wouldn't you know it, the sprinklers turned on, and they completely sprayed my camera here and my laptop. So I turned everything off, aired everything out, and miraculously, it still works, somehow. Thank goodness. I thought that was like the end of the channel for a week maybe, but we're still here, it still works somehow. I literally like powered everything down and dried it out. So where was I? I think I was like midway through Ski Essentials comment. So let's see if I can pick up my train of thought again. Okay, let's try this again. Jeff says, I can certainly understand someone thinking or perceiving differently. Yes, we have to sell the skis. Yes, we have partnerships with some brands we sell that results in trips like Alta with Salomon. If, however, I let those things affect what I say about a certain ski, I wouldn't be doing skiers justice. The content wouldn't be authentic, and at least speaking for myself, Jeff here, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. I love skiing, I've always loved skiing, and I want everyone else to love skiing as much as I do. I also want Ski Essentials to be successful, but I wouldn't neglect my love for skiing and passion for helping skiers just for financial success. It's just not me and not our business either. Our business is built on trust, not deception through dishonest reviews. Anyways, hope you're well, talk soon. And I apologize if my string of thought is kind of derailed. Obviously, day and night will make a little bit difference of how I see this. I think, Jeff, that I'm not accusing you guys of being dishonest about things that are good about the skis. I don't think you've ever misled anyone. I don't think there's any funny business going there. I think you guys are totally honest about what you like for skis, and I think you guys have a really good knack and perception of being like, this is where the ski fits in the larger picture of the ski industry. You guys have tremendous access to skis that almost no one else has. So I just want to clarify, I'm not accusing Ski Essentials of being dishonest about the good. The only thing I'm saying is just from a business standpoint, from a structure standpoint, for what their channel is, they don't tend to really showcase the negative of the skis. Now, luckily, I don't think this actually happens very much because there are so many good skis out there that you can buy. I mean, like I always say, we are in the golden age of ski design, but I don't think you guys are always that vocal about negatives of skis. There are some real stinkers out there, and I don't think that they showcase it. Now, what I do think is happening, I think that Jeff and Bob, by having two of them, can say, well, the ski wasn't really for me, but it was for Bob, and it wasn't really for Bob, it was for Jeff. And so I think that you guys are able to kind of do that in a healthy way. I think they talk about a ski's weaknesses, but when a ski's overall performance isn't high. If that makes any sense. I think you guys kind of talk about the good and maybe some weak spots in it, but there are some skis where their overall value is not good. I don't really see Ski Essentials talk a ton about price. I don't see you guys talk a ton about like bang for your buck as much, although maybe they do. And I don't see you guys talk about skis that are overall something I wouldn't recommend. Because I think when you're selling skis, there's no way you could do that. You would just end up with one ski in your basement that you didn't sell all year. I'm honestly a little jealous that you guys can try so many skis. But I think I can bring a good perspective of, hey, I wouldn't buy this ski. Hey, this ski is not a good overall value. Or hey, this ski is for a very narrow subset of skiers. And I think that there's room for us both to exist. And I guess I just wanted to clarify to Ski Essentials, I don't think you guys have ever been dishonest. I think you guys are just limited in what you're able to talk about and how you're able to talk about skis. But I think we both provide equally valuable insights. I hope that puts it to bed. As I always say, I really like Ski Essentials. I really like the work they do. And I've got nothing but love for Ski Essentials. So anyway, I hope that puts that to rest a little bit. And Jeff, thank you so much for commenting. It's nice to see that you guys are really active in the ski community. All right, and finally, let's finish it off with a more fun comment. Because I don't know, I always seem to talk myself into a hole with drama, and it's nice to talk about something else. Let's see. Do I want to talk about this negative comment or a positive comment? Let's do both. Jennifer Jones 2480 says on the Is Deb Armstrong Ski Advice Legit? Said, I watched her YouTube videos and taught myself to ski. I'm an adaptive skier. Maybe you should have watched her videos and learned about her before you critique her. Everyone has an opinion and everyone thinks they know how to ski better than the next guy, but she's a legend. Just saying. Oh my gosh. Okay, I hate dealing with Deb Armstrong. Like, just comments. Ever since I made that video, I've gotten nothing about it. I watched one Deb Armstrong video, was not impressed with it. It was like one of her most viewed videos. I literally just did Deb Armstrong carving and that's what popped up. I've watched some of her other videos and I do think she has some good content that I like. Like, she has some very inspiring content that's pretty cool. Here's my deal on Deb Armstrong. One, saying that I'm not allowed to have an opinion on Deb Armstrong because I'm not an Olympic skier is so silly for a couple of reasons. One, I think anyone can have an opinion. You don't have to be an Olympic skier to have a valid opinion on like teaching styles. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've spent time coaching. I've spent time in like education classes in college. I just don't think that her teaching style is for me. I don't like getting that granular when I'm learning things. When I'm coaching, I don't like getting that granular. I just think she's a very granular teacher, and I'm not even like gonna try to like bash her skiing or anything like that. I just don't like her teaching style. And, you know, if you find Deb Armstrong useful, that's great. I mean, I've said in other videos that I think that for people who are like really granular learners, go for it. Go if it works for you, go for it. That's awesome. Same for, oh my God, big picture skiing, Tom Gelly. I think if that works for you, awesome. I just find it, again, very granular. Oh, you're gonna put your knees this way, you're gonna put your ankles this way. Just the way that I think about things, I can't think about that many things at a time. I think I mentioned I'm like trying to learn to surf on the river, and I just like, I get people, I'll ask people for advice when I'm waiting in line for my turn on the wave, you know, the 2 seconds before I eat it, and they'll be like, oh, you need to step out this way, and then you need to alter the weight to your hand, and I just have a hard time with too many different things to focus on at once, so I tend to focus on one thing, and once I build that skill, move on to the next one. But if it's working for you, go for it. The other thing too, can we just like cut through the baloney? She was an Olympic skier when people were on straight skis. She has spent just as much time on carving skis as me or Zach, and she has raced less on shape skis than either Zach or I. Now, I don't think I know anything more than she does. I think she's really committed her life to understanding how carving works, but she was not an Olympian during the time of shape skis. Some of those traits and characteristics and skill sets carry over, and some of them don't. I've had a ton of coaches who only skied on straight skis, and they can tell you a ton about race tactics, they can tell you a ton about like setting up your turn, but they have blind spots in their understanding of carving. Now, I don't think Deb Armstrong does. I think she's put in the time to understand it, but this idea of like, you can't criticize her because she's just a legend is such baloney, and it usually to me indicates that you don't really understand what's going on with carving or racing in general. It's fine. I don't think she has zero insight because of that. I think she has a lot of really good insight, a lot of good teaching, but she was an Olympian back when there were straight skis. The mechanics are different now. Now, that being said, I like her. I think she does a good job. I think she's very passionate about the sport, and I think she brings a lot to the community overall. But if I'm critiquing her teaching style and saying, oh, well, where's your gold medal? I hate comments like that. So, I don't know. If you don't understand the difference or understand that somebody who has actually raced on shape skis might have some different insight, then I think you're kind of blind to the bigger picture of the sport. That's just my opinion. I don't know. I don't care. I don't care if I know more than Deb. Deb has probably coached a lot longer than I have. She probably does know more than me. She's probably a better skier than me. But that doesn't mean you can't be critical of, hey, you're teaching an intermediate person too much at once. And that's where a lot of my criticism on that video was coming from. Or, hey, you know, the coach giving this person all this different advice, it's just like, for a kid, that's hard for them to sit and listen to for that long. That's where a lot of my criticism was rooted in. And I think a lot of people didn't actually watch the video. They read the title, they looked at the thumbnail, and didn't really think about my critique. Because I have nothing but love for Deb, but I'm not gonna pretend like she's the be-all, end-all of ski advice. I think, you know, guys like Ted Ligety honestly know a lot more than her. Michaela Schifrin probably knows a lot, definitely knows a lot more than her. So, you know, I think she knows a lot, but she's not completely immune to my criticism there. So, anyway. I had to watch Mommy and Daddy fight again. Oh, God. Okay, let's do a positive comment now. All right, our last comment comes from Jury Acquittal. Octo or Montero AR? I hope I get to demo both this coming season. Oh, okay. Well, Jury Acquittal, and I always see their nice comments. I think just try them and see what you like. In my opinion of those two skis is that they both do a great job. They just are doing very different things. I think the Octo is a fabulous ski if you like short turn radiuses, if you like a flexible turn radius where you can open it up or shorten it up. I think it's a very responsive ski. I was surprised at how well it actually did in light powder. It's just a very light, responsive ski. It was one of my favorite carving skis of this year. I absolutely love the Black Crowes Octo. I think if you're somebody who kind of liked the Mears core but doesn't need a lot of the freestyle stuff, and you felt like it wasn't stable enough on the back half of the turn, then try the Octo. And then the Montero AR I thought was a fabulous ski, very damp, very good at carving. I think that they're just very different. So it just depends on what you're prioritizing. If you're prioritizing, hey, I want turn radius flexibility, I want to be able to do those really short turn radius turns on a dime, I want to be able to have a little bit of powder flotation, go with the Octo. If you care about dampness and you're like, I really don't want to feel a ton of chatter and really want to carve in a smooth way, I go with the Montero. The Montero are closer to slalom skis than anything else, but they've also got kind of that built-in Stockli dampness, but they're not going to be able to go off trail like the Octo is. So just pick what your priorities are, pick what you want the ski to really do, and go from there. But both of them are fantastic skis, and I know they're changing the Montero so you can actually buy last year's Montero AR on sale. Typically you don't see a lot of sales with Stockli. So I guess from my perspective, pick what your priority is, and if you're able to try them both, absolutely do it. Spend the money, try the skis, see what jives better with your ski style. Because I can't tell you that off the bat. I will say, if you've ever tried the Monteros and you like them, you know, you barely ever see them on sale, I would buy them now while you can still get a good pair for a decent price. But, you know, there's no wrong answer there. They're both great skis. It just depends on what you want them to do. So, not a very satisfying answer, but a good answer. And also, you know, next time let me know your ski quiver. Maybe I could tell you which ski would fit in better with what you already have, or if there's going to be some overlap with what you're already doing. So anyway, that's the end of the video. If you like this kind of content, please consider liking and subscribing. That's a free way to support the channel. If you liked any of the ski advice and you're going to go out and buy some skis while they're on sale during the summer, please consider using my links down below. If you click on the link and then buy any ski, even if it's not in the link, a portion of that still goes to support the channel. So it's a free way to financially support this kind of content. We also have memberships where you can message me directly and I'll give you ski advice. The top tier, I'll even look at your video and give you skiing feedback and drills you can do. But more than anything, just thanks for being here. Thanks for spending your time with me. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.